how you face that kind of controversy, Daud?
We have been consuming so many Western media. This version of debate in your head might not be the best version of debate in others people's head. My mental health condition should not be an excuse for me to being a jerk to other
Right.
people. Everything is not about you gitu loh. Jadi kayak ya gak usah salty gitu loh.
Hai, selamat datang di Behind the Speech, tempat para debater ngobrolin tentang hal-hal di balik podium. Saat ini sudah bergabung dengan aku, Nila. Ada Daud Hernout. Hai,
Hi.
Daud. Been a while ya kita ngobrol-ngobrol nih. Apalagi sekarang kayaknya kamu aktivitasnya banyak di Guangzhou ya, Cina ya. Cerita dong,
Hangzhou.
Daud. Hangzhou, Hangzhou. Oke, cerita dong Daud tentang Hangzhou sedikit dan apa sih yang lagi kamu kerjakan sekarang ini, Daud?
Jadi Hangzhou for some reason not
Hmm?
everybody really knows about it, which is sad. Karena
Hmm?
kayak itu pasti kayak salah ngira itu Guangzhou bukan Hangzhou, terus Manila ya.
Iya ya,
Um,
iya, including me.
Even my parents they still like mix it
Oh,
up between
oke.
Guangzhou and Hangzhou. I think
Hmm.
names quite close, tapi kayak Hangzhou is actually recently in 2023 they
Mm-mm.
were the host of Asian Games.
Hmm.
Also, Hangzhou itu headquarternya Alibaba is in Hangzhou because Jack Ma is from.
Ah, I
It's
see.
actually quite developed city. It's very
Hmm.
technologically advanced. It's just like people does not really know about it. Why I'm here? I've been moving to China in Hangzhou since 2023.
Hmm.
So it's already about 2 years that I'm
Yes.
here in China. What I'm doing here is to continue the things that I used to do in Indonesia, yaitu being a debate coach in China.
Nice. Nah, debate coach-nya ini beda ya kayak di Indonesia ya, Daud ya. Kayak, is it not something related to education institute? Or it is related to education institute, like misalnya kalau orang-orang tuh kayak ada lomba SMP, SMA, univ, jadi kayak kamu di hire dari debater-debaternya, atau di sini tuh lebih sistematik gitu, Daud.
Oke, jadi bedanya adalah kalau dulu di Indonesia kan kerjaannya freelance base ya. Jadi
Mm-mm,
kayak
mm-mm.
people approach me personally atau
Correct.
enggak kayak kampusnya atau beberapa institusi yang approach me
Mm-mm.
personally. Bedanya sekarang di sini tuh we call it as debate academy.
Debate
Jadi
academy, okay, nice.
semi-corporate. So you have company
Oh,
structures, you have
I
HR,
see.
you have fixed salary every month. So itu lebih ke structures. Terus ini juga bukan hanya buat tournament prep, tapi kayak
Hmm.
benar-benar itu mirip-mirip kayak les-lesan bimbel-bimbel bahasa Inggris tau gak sih yang titit.
Got it, got it, got it,
Ya,
got it, got it. I
fokusnya itu untuk
see.
belajar debat. Terus range-nya juga emang lumayan luas. Kalau di Indo kan kebanyakan anak SMA, gitu-gitu kan ya,
Betul,
kuliah. Kalau di
betul.
sini tuh benar-benar dari anak SD, kayak bahkan anak kelas 3 SD udah belajar debat. Jadi tuh mereka tuh punya different
Oke.
debate format based on their age. Jadi kayak oh anak
Oh,
umur segini sama
wow.
segini tuh mereka punya debate format sendiri nih. Umur segini-segini punya
Hmm.
debate format sendiri. Jadi kayak anak-anaknya itu biasanya belajar tuh dari debate format yang paling gampang, terus mereka
Mm-mm.
naik level, udah mulai belajar yang lebih susah, belajar WSDC, naik lagi nanti belajar BP. Jadi ada tahap-tahapannya gitu lah kayak sekolah
Hmm.
gitu.
I see. It is a bit irony ya, di China, tapi punya akademi critical thinking, bahkan udah nge-cover dari yang SD ya di sana ya. Berarti governmentnya sangat suportif ya terhadap critical thinking ya di China ini.
That's something that I'm quite impressed, shocked as well. I think we have been consuming so many Western media that
Right.
try to portray China in some way.
Mm,
Tapi
mm,
I think
mm.
they're very supportive in the way that um,
Wow.
the kids, the parents really encourage the kids to also develop their critical thinking. And also in China, they also have national university that is hosted by the
Mm.
government as well.
Oh,
So governments,
wow.
Indonesia, it's like Indonesian NUDC, which
Wow.
is very great because in other countries we don't have that. Like
Mm.
in other countries, any nationals, not all of the country have government supporting the national university debate championship, but in China the government supporting it, and they're
Oh,
working
wow.
together with some organizers to make it happen. So actually,
Wow.
unlike the popular belief, I think we
Yeah.
still able to enhance our critical thinking, of course, in some ways, but at least it's still very much developed here in China.
Oh, wow, wow, yeah, that's why it's a bit shock ya, kayak ih beda banget nih sama yang dipotret gitu. And also, I saw your post that you just won a debate competition and include in best speaker. Okay, could you tell us what kind of debate competition is that? With whom you follow the competitions, and how was the competition?
So recently, I've been to a debate retirement recently. I think in 2024. I mean, I used to like stop debating and focus on
Mm,
coaching
mm,
2023. I still
mm,
actively judging, right?
mm,
But then in 2024, I took quite a break even from judging.
mm,
But then in early 2025, I was like kind of bored. So I joined. So recently, I joined three debate competition.
mm, mm,
So it was Macau Debate Open
mm,
and Beijing International Debate Open and
mm,
Shanghai International Debate Tournament. Um, and all of it was quite well. I made it to final to all of those round, got overall best speakers, and also recently in Shanghai tournament, I won the championship with a
wow,
huge trophy. So I
wow.
went with all of my friends, all of my friends from Philippines and my friends in China. My
Mm,
friends in
mm,
China
mm,
are also another debate coach that used to work in,
mm,
so I know that quite well. I think that it was very very fun because the only reason why I joined the tournament,
mm,
beside want to meet my friends, but like
mm,
I wanna immerse myself more into Chinese debate circuit because like
mm,
I feel like I've been here for 2 years and I want to know
mm.
more people. I want to meet more people in China,
I
the
see.
Chinese debaters, because usually
Mm,
I only uh, expose myself to my Chinese students, right? But like not
mm,
to the Chinese debate circuit
correct.
in general. So it just feels like I wanna like get to know more people in Chinese debate circuit, make new friends because I feels like
Okay.
I live here, I make my life here, so I think it's just right for me to actually know more people here. So yeah, it's more about making friends and actually wanna win.
Wow, wow, wow. Again, huge congrats for you, Daud, yeah. I mean, for me personally, it's been years not include in competition, but I have this kind of idea that I want to talk with more debaters through this kind of podcast. Jadi pingin tahu nih, sebenarnya debater-debater itu di balik podium tuh kayak gimana? Karena banyak yang berpikir kalau debat itu latihannya entar aja nih, nunggu mepet kompetisi gitu. Tapi udah dengan format seperti itu dan ketika di kompetisi turn out kalah dan mereka questioning nih kayak oh ini pelatihnya nih yang nggak bagus, oh ini kompetisinya nih yang udah diutak-atik dan lain sebagainya. Jadi eh, adanya podcast ini aku pingin memberitahu ke orang-orang bahwa debat itu juga masalah proses gitu. Nah, talking about the process, ceritain dong Daud, gimana pertama kali kamu mengenal debat dan kenapa akhirnya memutuskan untuk continue di debate even you took the chance to go to Hangzhou and become the debate coach there.
I think I will have the similar classic story that a lot of people have.
Mm,
The only reason I know debate because maybe in my school and your
Mm,
school probably there were a very few amount of students that can speak English, and then your
mm.
English teacher will be like, "Can you speak English? Yeah. Do you want to join debate? I don't even know what debate is, but sure." So ya, jadi kayak masih tuh banyak yang kayak gitu, apalagi orang-orang yang asalnya dari daerah ya. Misalnya kayak aku kan
Mm,
asalnya dari Kupang nih, dari NTT.
mm-mm,
Jadi tuh orang-orang yang bisa punya kemampuan bahasa Inggris tuh nggak banyak kan. Jadi pasti
mm-mm,
dipukul rata. Ya udah kalau lu bisa bahasa Inggris bisa debat gitu lah. Ya.
mm,
Dan I have a lot of friends that have similar story as mine.
mm-mm.
Jadi awalnya cuma kayak ditarik gitu doang. I think it was around 2013 ya. Kayak kelas 1 SMA.
2013,
So
okay.
it's already been 12 years since
12
the very
years,
first
correct.
time I exposed myself to the debate world. Jadi ya itu awalnya tahu dari situ doang karena kayak waktu itu tuh ada seleksi kota gitu. Jadi seleksi
Hmm,
kota untuk NSDC. Jadi kita punya seleksi kota
oke,
dulu, seleksi provinsi, and then like
oke,
represent the province
oke.
to NSDC gitu.
Mm, mm, mm.
Itu awalnya.
Oke, and then after seleksi kota dan lain sebagainya, kamu lanjut gitu ya di Undif?
Aha.
Enggak? Oh iya, lanjut ya. Berarti
Ya.
langsung ya, masuk Undif langsung enroll di debate. Oh, no, English debate ya. English debate
Hmm.
community ya.
Jadi it was quite a long
Mm-mm,
journey ya karena kayak awalnya juga waktu ikut kan nggak ngerti apa-apa, nggak tahu debat. And my
mm.
English ability, oh, even though it was already above the average of kids there, but it's still not adequate enough ya. Jadi at the very first try, I lost
Mm-mm.
at provincial election
Oh,
selection.
okay.
So I didn't get a chance to go to NSDC. Then I try again the next year.
Mm.
Then I get a chance to represent my province in NSDC
Mm-mm.
2015,
15,
and it
okay.
was I think it was held in Ambon, NSDC Ambon.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Mm,
and then
Ambon.
yeah, I met a lot of friends. I met a lot of friends, and then I continued to uni, which is like I graduated from Universitas Surabaya, Ubaya, and back then there was no debate club. So like the moment I decided that I'll go to Ubaya, I already
Mm-mm.
know that I'll bury whatever dream about debate because I know that there's
Okay.
no debate club there. Jadi kayak awalnya emang gak ada debate club. Terus awal-awalnya di Ubaya itu dulu buat mahasiswa baru tuh ada namanya Rector Cup. Jadi kayak
Okay.
itu tuh pertandingan antar mahasiswa baru gitu ya, banyak
Oh,
cabangnya, ada
iya, iya,
olahraga,
iya. Aku pernah
ada
tuh juri di situ
debat,
tuh.
ya, iya kan?
Bener,
Nah,
bener, bener,
terus
bener, bener.
aku awalnya bahkan gak kepilih tuh buat
Mm,
nge-represent
mm, mm.
fakultas. Itu kayak
Mm.
I was like, was I that bad? Terus akhirnya for some reason akhirnya aku dipilih karena
Mm,
yang dipilih itu Bill.
mm.
Terus aku debat terus aku tuh di approach sama pelatihnya dari fakultas lain abis
Oh,
pertandingan.
okay.
Nah aku tuh nggak
Okay.
tahu nih orang mau approach gue nih dalam rangka apa nih, kan takut kan mahasiswa baru kayak ini apa nih, gue mau dilabrak apa gimana nih, ya kan.
Uh-uh.
And
True.
guess who was the person? It was Bobby.
Oh,
Bobby
it was
Ongkojo.
both.
So
Okay.
I was like, that was the first time I know Bobby. Bobby used to be my
Okay,
teammate.
okay.
It was like, do you want to join debate club? And I was like, do we even have debate club to begin with? So ya, jadi kayak awal itu emang si Bobby itu lagi merintis mau pengen coba bangun debate club. Jadi ya
Mm,
udah akhirnya ikut aja. Emang gak ada debate club, gak punya coach, ya udah cuma latihan-latihan biasa doang. Terus
mm-mm,
akhirnya debate clubnya mulai grow, mulai ada uang dikit-dikit untuk nge-hire pelatih,
mm.
eh, dan segala macam prosesnya lah.
Oke,
Gitu.
oke. Dan itu masih continue ya? The debate club in Ubaya masih continue ya sampai sekarang ya, Daud ya?
Iya.
Yeah, it was because of you guys, the founder of the debate club. Now the debate
Bobby ya
club
foundernya.
continue.
I was the first member.
First member, okay. And also Daud, kan waktu itu kamu bilang kan kayak yaudah nih ketemu nih sama Bobby, ya kan? Oke, ikut klub debatnya. Waktu itu kamu memulai debat sebagai apa, Daud? Sebagai debater kah? Atau bahkan ada, soalnya ada ya beberapa yang memulai debat itu justru dari adjudicator nih. Baru akhirnya mereka belum jadi debater. Nah, kalau kamu nih jalannya kayak gimana, Daud?
Dulu kan karena debate clubnya Ubaya itu USDS itu emang gak ada orang ya. Jadi kayak ya udah
Oke.
optionnya lu debat aja gitu.
Oke.
Uh, but then akhirnya seleksi buat NUDC 2018 yang di Malang itu
Oke.
kan cuma ada bertiga nih. Membernya emang cuma 3 biji nih, cuma 3 orang. It's only like
Pas
me,
ya,
Bobby,
pas.
ya me, Bobby, and Ricky. Terus ya
Heeh.
udahlah ya, adalah seleksi kecil-kecilan gitu. Terus akhirnya dari seleksinya ya udah akhirnya yang ke NUDC 18 itu Bobby sama Ricky ya udah aku jadi N1-nya.
Oke.
Nah dari
Mm-mm.
sanalah aku N1 dulu di NUDC,
Mm-mm.
terus baru tahun depannya jadi debater gitu.
Tahun depannya jadi debater. Oke, so do you learn something ketika kamu menjadi N1? Let's say kayak, oh, aku nggak tahu ini kalau aku nggak jadi N1 kayak gitu. Karena banyak orang-orang yang ketika mereka udah didaulat nih ya untuk jadi N1 gitu, mereka aja kayak berpikir, oh mungkin aku nggak punya ini ya, nggak punya bakat di debat ya, makanya aku ditaruh di N1. Jadi banyak yang berkecil hati gitu loh, yang gimana ya, value dari N1-nya itu jadi kerasa rendah, tidak lebih baik daripada seorang debater. So,
Hmm,
at that time, do you learn something from it? Jadi kayak ini untuk orang-orang yang ditaruh di N1 tuh biar lebih semangat lagi nih untuk nge-N1-nya nih, Daud.
I think that's a very normal feeling ya, because I felt the same as well. I was like,
Oke.
gila nih, saya cuma bertiga, gue paling bawah nih, kayak bego banget. Ya kan,
Ah,
ya emang rasa itu normal ya, kayak. Tapi back then I was like, ya udah nih kayak aku udah jadi N1 nih ya. Ya udah the best thing
mm,
I can do adalah be the best N1 I could be aja gitu loh. Jadi
nice,
kayak
nice.
maksudnya kayak lu udah jadi N1 you already feel bad at some point but you gotta prove
Mm-mm.
yourself, right? Kayak what worse, being N1 atau being N1 yang gak nge-break misalnya gitu loh. Jadi kayak my
Ah,
mindset change gitu loh. I still need to try my
oke,
best gitu. Jadi
oke,
kayak um, I think that's what everybody need to understand, that like whatever path that you're in now, even though it's not your first options, just try your best gitu loh. Karena kayak you do not
nice.
know what you'll get from that, what would you learn from that. Jadi kayak waktu itu ya, waktu jadi N1 asiknya itu adalah kayak lebih kenal debater-debater senior, kayak ngeju bareng mereka nih bisa. Oh,
Mm,
debater senior nih mikirnya kayak gini nih waktu mereka ngeju. Oh, mereka ternyata cara cara ngelihat debatnya kayak gini. Oh, argumen-argumen yang dia bilang
mm,
itu kayak gini nih, gitu. Jadi,
I know, right?
I feels like it's a very good learning opportunity. Jadinya biasanya juga kayak sistem-sistemnya kita ke depannya akhirnya dijadiin kayak, oh kalau kita udah lihat anak ini potensial nih buat tahun depan nasional, ya udah tahun ini dijadiin N1 aja supaya mereka udah dapat exposure gitu-gitu loh. Jadi
Mm,
N1 is a learning opportunity and scouting opportunity juga. Jadi kayak I think we can learn a lot from being an N1. So just not feel bad. I mean, the fact that you can be like if you're an N1 debater, you're already the top three, right? You make through the
correct.
city team. So I think it's already good enough. Gitu.
Mm, nice, nice ya. Aku juga mikir gitu ya. Jadi kayak nggak peduli kamu mulainya dari mana, as debater or as N1 adjudicator, tetap akan ada proses belajar di situ gitu. Oke, Daud, sekarang dari kamu pertama kali involve di klub debatnya di Ubaya sampai akhirnya kamu bisa ngerasain kemenangan, itu butuh waktu berapa lama, Daud? And apa kesulitan yang sampai paling bikin kamu breakdown waktu itu, tapi akhirnya kamu push through?
Um, Let me think. I think the very first time I won something it was 2018, 2018.
2018, oke.
Karena dulu tuh kayak bahkan dulu tuh di Jatim tuh ada namanya HVET ya dulu, sekarang udah nggak ada
Betul,
lagi.
Ashford.
Iya, HVET itu kan regional Jatim ya. Dulu pertama kali kita turun
Betul.
2017 itu kayak kita nggak nge-break. Kayak itu Edgewood doang nggak ngebreak, kayak itu malunya tuh bener-bener udah mukanya nggak tahu taruh di mana, ngerti gak sih? Jadi kayak
Mm,
ya itu tuh the very first loss yang bener-bener hit me personally gitu loh,
mm.
kayak wah parah nih Edgewood doang nggak ngebreak. Terus kayak I think my speaker position or speaker rank was 99th, 99
99.
dari 100 sekian orang. Itu tuh bener-bener kayak
What? Gitu.
like, is it meant for me? Like, should I really continue or not? Jadi
Mm,
itu
mm,
kayak,
mm,
"Gila, lu di Jatim aja ranking 99." Terus kayak, apa harapannya ke depannya gitu loh. Jadi kayak terus juga banyak banyak banget moment of doubt. Terus sebenarnya di debat tuh banyak banget ya. Dulu juga waktu zaman NSDC juga sebelum NSDC itu bener-bener banyak breakdownnya. Terus sempat gak
mm,
mau ikut NSDC karena capek, merasa nggak cukup.
mm,
Terus waktu dia juga abis HVET ngerasanya kayak gitu. There's so many times I want to quit
mm.
because it was hard. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. So the feeling of like
It is
I
hard.
wanna, it was there like almost all the time. Cuma ya akhirnya I okay, ini lebih personal daripada related to debate ya. It's more
Mm.
about the way I view life in general aja ya.
Oke,
Karena
nice.
kayak
Coba dong share-share.
for me, yeah. I think I've been through a lot of failure in my life that's outside of debate ya. Kayak misalnya, oh gak masuk kayak like just be honest, like Ubaya was not my first choice of uni ya.
Oh,
Dan
oke,
kayak
oke.
get rejected to my dream uni. Terus juga dulu tuh sempat ada hima, tahu nggak sih hima, himpunan mahasiswa yang kayak tiap
Mm.
jurusan tuh punya himanya
Ya,
masing-masing.
ya.
Terus daftar hima ketolak, turun debat kalah, kayak I've been through a lot of failure in my
Hmm.
life. But then if I look back, I believe that those failure led me to something bigger.
Mm.
Kayak it's quite superstitious, but I just really believe in it. I really manifested it in the way that, misalnya, kalau if I really like got accepted to the uni I want, I would not be in
Mm-mm.
Uba. I might
Mm-mm.
might not meet all of my friends. I might not
Mm.
have the journey of building something with my friends and etc. Terus juga kayak waktu itu aku gak keterima hima, tapi abis itu aku keterima di MPM, kayak Majelis Perwakilan Mahasiswanya
Mm-mm.
UBA. And I got elected jadi kayak ketua MPM. If I got to hima, I'll never go then become ketua MPM. Uh, jadi kayak then there are other things in life, misalnya kayak before I got into debate coaching job in China, I got rejected from a lot of job application,
Mm.
which like if I got in, I'll never have this opportunity to live in China. So like I just believe that everything happened for a reason, and like a failure is just a redirection. So and
Mm.
that's how I cope up with all of these failures. Jadi kayak ya udah, maybe your time is not to win this competition, but maybe you'll win another competition. You will never
Who
find
knows
out.
ya? Correct, correct.
Like option is
Nice.
either you want to find out or you just stop, but then the question of what if is still lingering in your head. Kayak oh dulu kalau gue nggak stop gimana ya? Kayak I think it's just more like hard. It's just like harder and it's
Mm.
just like much more painful with the question of what if. So just try. Just keep going. Like what's the harm of trying? So yeah.
I see. I see. Talking about harm, talking about winning, we will also talk about losing. So, tadi kayak yang udah kamu share ya, Daud ya, kayak sebelum akhirnya nih menang, kamu kan pernah kalah nih. Cuma kalau biasanya kita udah terbiasa kalah, terus kalah lagi kan kita udah kayak, oh iya, udah sih mungkin memang harus ada yang di-improve gitu. Tapi once kita udah merasakan menang, then suddenly kita ngerasain kalah lagi, itu pasti mixed feelingnya akan berbeda tuh. And how you deal with that kind of losing doubt?
Uh just know that the world does not revolve around you in the way that like everything cannot go in your favor. Oke, jadi kayak kayak pasti menang kalah tuh I mean painful
Biasa
ya,
ya.
especially if you already
Hmm.
work so hard for it, udah latihan. Kayak dulu juga aku kayak udah latihan mati-matian terus kalah di semifinal NUDC itu benar-benar
Hmm.
sakitnya itu sampai berbulan-bulan, kayak sampai berbulan-bulan nggak sembuh-sembuh sakitnya. Tapi ya udah mau gimana lagi, kayak it happened. Like I think one thing that you need to know that I just think that there are element of luck in debate as well.
Oke. Oke.
It just feels like hard work does not always equals to the best result that you want. Bukan berarti lu
Mm-mm.
nggak punya hard work ya. You still try your best. Tapi kayak there are element of luck actually. Misalnya kayak eh, tiba-tiba lu dapat motion yang lu belum pelajarin nih, tapi lu udah mati-matian belajar motion lain, tiba-tiba yang keluar motion lain
Hmm.
gitu loh. Itu kan bukan
Hmm.
artinya lu nggak usaha kan? Lu udah usaha,
Betul.
ya nggak ke cover aja. Atau misalnya kayak eh lu tiba-tiba ngeblank karena nervous atau
Hmm.
gimana. Atau kayak tiba-tiba lu dapet judge yang mungkin eh jam terbangnya belum tinggi. Misalnya kayak gitu.
Oke. Oke. Oke.
There are so many things that affecting the result of a tournament. Kayak
Hmm.
misalnya kayak eh, aku sering banget kayak I even call it as a curse ya. Tiap kali aku jadi
Hmm.
overall best speaker pasti aku kalah di final.
Mm-mm.
But does that mean that I'm a loser? I don't think so. Gitu loh. Kayak jadi kayak there are so many element of luck, and I don't think the result of a one run will determine your entire value and worth as a debater or as a human in general. Kayak misalnya
Hmm.
kayak sedih banget nih waktu itu NUDC kalah di semi, kayak itu
Mm-mm.
selangkah lagi udah final gitu loh.
Hmm.
Selangkah lagi WUDC. Tapi kayak come to think about it, like we were really great in the past rounds in prelim. We were really great on
Hmm.
that, and we broke third. It was already an achievement to begin with. Jadi kayak
Hmm.
there are other things that you can celebrate instead of like lingering of losing in one round, especially if you lose in final. Like it's just like one round, so
Hmm.
just go on and be better.
I
So
see.
just the key is that do not take things personally. Do not take the loss
Do not
personally.
that is personally. I see. Nice, nice. So it's not about only you, but it's about
Or maybe
something
it's not
else
about
also.
you being sucked. Maybe your opponent is really that good.
Yeah, correct, correct.
You just shift the
Bener,
mindset. Just think
bener,
that, oh, I'm so bad.
bener.
Maybe you're not bad, you're great, but your opponent is actually better. So like it's not about you. Jadi kayak yaudah, chill aja.
Hmm, nice. Tapi biasanya kalau kalah gitu, ada momen kamu menangis nggak sih, Daud? Kayak how to deal with the feeling inside, atau kayak gimana sih akhirnya kamu coping dengan kekalahan selain dari mindset gitu. Let's say kayak oke deh, aku mau karaokean sejam, aku mau teriak-teriak, ngeluapin semua, atau do you have sesuatu gitu ketika kamu coping dari kekalahan?
Adalah, nangis adalah. Aku tuh malahan kayaknya panggilanku yang paling cengeng gitu deh. Jadi kayak pasti segala sesuatu tuh pasti aku nangis duluan gitu loh. Kalau misalnya kayak bahkan juniorku kalah yang nangis tuh aku, juniorku nggak nangis, mereka yang kalah yang nangis aku gitu loh. Aku cengeng banget. Jadi kayak gampang banget nangis tuh kayak nangis berjam-jam. It's something normal gitu loh. I think it's the
Hmm,
way for you to channel your emotion, and it's like ya udah dapat dipendam sendiri, udah mending nangis aja gitu loh. Kayak pasti hal-hal ngeselin tuh ada, ya udah mau nangis nangis aja. How do I cope up with it? Just enjoy the pain. In the way that kayak
enjoy.
ya udah lu nangis senangis nangisnya aja sampai udah tenang, ya udah. Justru kalau biasanya ditahan-tahan itu jauhnya lebih susah gitu loh, karena you try
Benar.
to push down the emotions, one day it will blow up. Jadi kayak ya udah just let it go, like for example going on karaoke, eat the foods that I like, try
Hmm,
distract myself in other thing, watch movie. Jadi kayak ya udahlah, the way I cope with loss adalah just know that there will be another tournament, and
oh,
also back to the mindset that it's not about you all the time.
oke. Nice. Oke, so Daud, aku juga pingin nanya nih. Talking about feeling, currently banyak juga akhirnya orang-orang yang mulai open dengan kondisi kesehatan mental ya, including me, apakah uh, Daud sebagai someone with certain mental condition, um, apakah kompetisi itu berpengaruh signifikan dalam kehidupan kamu, Daud? Let's say, ketika kamu lagi menang itu kayak gimana rasanya, ketika lagi kalah tuh gimana rasanya? Apakah itu mempengaruhi mood atau mempengaruhi hubungan kamu sama orang lain atau seperti apa, Daud?
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard, yeah, because like in my condition, there might be some days that I have so much energy and it feels like the world is in my hand.
Hmm?
Jadi kayak banyak banget energinya, kayak mikir tuh jadi cepet banget gitu loh, kayak oh gini A B C kayak mikir crash building is 5 argumen kepikiran cepet banget mikirnya. But there are some days that I feels like I don't even want to wake up. It just feels like oh my god, I don't want to wake up, let alone go to the debate tournament. So like
Hmm.
there are those good days, there are those bad days. Cuma ya try to um, make peace and regulate that in the way that
Hmm.
ya udah kayak misalnya kalau emang lagi nggak banyak tenaga ya try to focus on things that's important aja gitu loh. Ya udah kalau lo emang nggak
Hmm.
udah nggak usah mikir-mikir hal lain. Aduh, kayak misalnya orang tuh sering kayak backtap gini-gini, VP gue berapa nih ya? Aduh, abis ini ketemu siapa?
Hmm.
Don't waste your energy on that. You already have low amount of energy, focus on what matters, yang dibuang-buang kayak gitu-gitu loh. Kalau atau enggak misalnya kalau energinya lagi kebanyakan nih, jika pecicilan,
Hmm.
ya cuma tenang dulu, diem, duduk, jangan pecicilan. Energinya disalurin buat hal yang lebih penting kayak gitu-gitu loh.
Hmm.
Jadi kayak I mean it comes along with time ya. Jadi kayak emang it was not easy at the very beginning, but the moment you know more about the conditions, you seek professional help, you learn how to deal with it. It will be much better, and also knows that in the specific case of debate that you don't work alone. Yeah,
Hmm.
you work with your team, so you have some
Correct,
amount
correct.
of responsibility also to maintain your composure as a person karena kayak you
Hmm.
cannot let the emotions overtook you. Before that happens a lot. Sometimes I could be very angry. Sometimes I could be like lashing out at my teammate,
Hmm.
fight with them, but then knows that I just always believe that my mental health condition should not be an excuse for me to being a jerk to other
Right.
people.
Hmm.
Gitu loh. Because
Agree.
they might
Agree.
also going through something hard in their life. Yeah. But they just do not share it to you. Jadi kayak
Correct.
in debate, you know that you have responsibility to also uh, not be the burden to other people. Atau kan misalnya when you're judging, you have responsibility to be objective and maintain focus to other people's speeches. So just know that as long as you wanna be comfortable and entertaining what's in your head, but then you also need to know that there are other people on the other side that actually relies on you being objective and being focused.
I see. Thank you for the share because this mental health condition sometimes for certain debater mereka juga susah gitu ya untuk ngadepinnya apalagi kayak debat ini salah satu kompetisi yang pressure-nya lumayan ya, apalagi kalau sudah apa namanya nih berhubungan dengan representasi dari Indonesia. Itu pasti udah pressure-nya udah jor-joran. Talking about pressure and also preparation to go to let's say national competition or international competitions, hmm, seberapa brutal sih dulu Daud itu latihan sampai akhirnya yang kayak achieve the first winning on debate.
Ah, dulu tuh kalau bisa tiap hari sih. Kayak I don't even have life. Dulu tuh kayak I juggle a lot of things ya. Dulu kan aku anak teknik kimia ya, nge-labnya
Teknik.
banyak,
Wow.
banyak apa kuliahnya harus susah. Terus aku juga dulu
Hmm,
anak PM kan anak organisasi banget, rapatnya banyak.
hmm,
Terus harus latihan debat. Jadi aku kayak kalau if
hmm.
aku bisa 24 jam di kampus sih 24 jam di kampus gitu loh. Terus kayak brutalnya ya kalau bisa tiap hari ya tiap hari. Kan dulu juga bahkan pernah kayak there was like something happened with my family. Yeah, okay, there's a personal problem happening in my family. I
Mm.
felt really, really down. I was crying in my room. But then after then, 5 minutes later, I went to the debate practice. Act as if nothing happened, and I just gave the best speech in the practice. I was like,
Wow.
I mean, in my opinion, yeah, my best speech in my standard, not against everyone, but like
Mm, mm,
compared to
mm,
my
mm.
previous speech, I think that was the best speech. Jadi kayak there were jadi kayak bener-bener persiapannya tuh matang banget, pas itu banyak. Dan juga ya ingat lagi aja kalau lu males-males kan ke sentimennya.
Mm,
Jadi kayak selalu mikir kayak you're not doing this alone, it's not about you only. Gitu loh. Tapi kayak itu
mm.
tuh menurutku tuh tergantung dari teammate-nya sih. Karena dulu karena teammateku tuh bener-bener semangat banget latihan, ya aku juga jadi semangat banget gitu.
Hmm, I see, I see. Juga ngomongin tentang kompetisi lokal, kompetisi internasional, kamu kan udah ngerasain dua environment yang berbeda ya, Daud ya. Baik di lokal atau di Indonesia sendiri, sampai yang akhirnya di luar Indonesia. Ada perasaan berbeda nggak sih, Daud? Kayak run di turnamen yang diadain di Indonesia dengan run di turnamen yang diadain di luar Indonesia.
There are ups and down ya. I start to appreciate more things in di luar, tapi I also start to appreciate some things in Indonesia as well. I think
Hmm.
compared to other country, I think Indonesians, the way they organize tournament is quite good.
Oh wow. Oke, quite good-nya nih di mananya nih, Daud? Kayak
The
the
logisticnya,
committee.
yeah, the comment is
Oh.
really nice. I really appreciate it now because I thought it used to be ya emang standarnya kayak gitu. But then I moved to another competition, another country, then suddenly it was a
Hmm.
mess. I was like, oh, I start to appreciate Indian
Ah.
people and their work ethic more. Tapi juga bedanya adalah I think it's about mindset ya, karena kayak
Mm-mm.
lebih ke arah I get to know and understand that again everything is not about me gitu loh. Karena kayak dulu tuh kayak orang-orang tuh kayak punya mindset kalau oh kalau kalah ini pasti judge-nya jelek nih, judge-nya bego, misalnya kayak gitu.
Hmm. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Benar, benar.
Tapi kadang-kadang kayak kayak the best version of debate in your head might not be the best version of debate in others people head. Gitu loh. Kayak
Hmm.
cara style debat dan strategi debat yang menurut lu oke banget tuh might not like other people might not agree with that. Gitu loh.
Mm-mm.
Jadi kayak meskipun lu merasa speech lu udah bagus banget, strategi lu udah bagus banget, tapi belum tentu itu emang strategi yang bagus juga di mata orang lain gitu.
Mm.
Gitu loh.
I
Nah,
see.
that's what I get to understand ketika got exposure di international tournament ya. And also as a debater and as a judge as well gitu loh. Oh,
Mm.
ternyata judge dari circuit gini ya, circuit A ini yang di value ini argumen yang kayak gini-gini nih. Oh, circuit B ini mereka lebih nge-value argumen kayak ini. Oh, circuit C itu oh, mereka lebih appreciate framing over the complete argument. Oh, circuit ini tuh ternyata nggak peduli framing, mereka lebih peduli argumen yang komplit ya gitu-gitu loh. Nah, dari exposure itu kalau tahu kalau it's not everything is not about you gitu loh. Jadi kayak ya gak usah salty gitu loh. Mungkin mungkin ya emang cara strategi debat lu might not be as effective in every circumstances and
Hmm.
might not be seen effective by every single judges gitu
Mm.
loh.
Makes
And as
sense.
the leader, we also need to learn to adapt. Again, everything
Right.
is not revolved around you gitu loh. Dan I think that's what a lot of Indonesian debater also start to understand ketika mereka join WODC, join ABP,
Mm.
gitu-gitu loh. Karena kayak you need to learn to adapt gitu loh.
Mm.
Because ya emang judge itu harus objektif, tapi kita juga nggak bisa
Correct.
nge-force everyone to follow our standard.
Betul. Setuju sih. Setuju. Nah, talking about international competition juga ya. Kamu kan juga udah ngerasain satu tim dengan tim yang sesama orang Indonesia, satu tim dengan tim dari luar gitu. Ada nggak sih perbedaan punya tim yang berasal dari kampung yang sama dengan tim dari luar selain bisa ngomong bahasa Indonesia?
Itu yang paling pertama ya, kan Kiss bilangnya lebih enak nih pakai bahasa Indonesia kan. ya kan kadang-kadang kayak bisa pakai bahasa Surabaya gitu loh. Em, Bedanya apa ya? Sebenarnya biasanya nggak banyak sih karena kayak biasanya kan juga aku juga selalu turun sama teman-teman yang deket ya sama aku kan.
Mm-mm.
Jadi kayak I always feels happy with anybody that I went to tournament with gitu loh. Hmm, let me think ya.
Ada nggak sih kayak perbedaan culture gitu dalam case building dengan orang dari di luar Indonesia? Let's say kalau di Indonesia kita nih kayak ngasih taunya pelan-pelan nih karena nanti takut dia tersinggung atau kayak gimana misalnya. Nah, apakah kalau di luar tuh kayak kamu bisa lebih free aja gitu untuk ngomong, untuk ngedebat teman sendiri atau kayak gimana dong?
Um, Mungkin bedanya adalah um, lebih komunikatif ya. Karena kayak mungkin di Indonesia kan kita kan gak enakan nih kadang-kadang nih kayak
Mm-mm.
tadi speech loop ada yang kurang dikit gitu loh. Kita kan agak nggak enakan nih takut berantem atau orang Indonesia banget kan gak enakan kan. Nanti ngomongnya pas eval gede gitu-gitu. Tapi I think di luar tuh kayak I just feels like people don't take it personally. Jadi kayak kita tuh selalu kayak misalnya sebelum turnamen tuh kayak pasti discuss gitu loh. Lu mau
Mm-mm.
gaya casingnya kayak gimana? Misalnya kayak
Mm.
you want me to talk a lot or you want to have more silent time gitu loh.
Oke.
Terus kayak misalnya kayak aku tuh punya preference, aku bilang kayak eh oke aku bisa ngelit, aku biasa ngelit case building. Tapi aku nggak mau kamu ngikut-ngikut aja. I want you to fight me. Aku tuh selalu bilang
Oke.
gitu. I want you to fight me karena aku juga I could be delusional in making argument. So I need someone to
Oke.
fight me back to like rationalize the argument. Atau enggak kayak um, eval abis step around. Oh, I think we could have done better on this part. Blah blah blah.
Mm.
Uh, I just feels like we were more communicative dan lebih kayak ya
Oke.
udah upfront aja gitu loh kayak what could we uh,
Better ya.
improve the next round. Terus
Mm.
kayak lebih lebih terang-terangan gitu loh. Oh, gue nggak bisa ini, gue nggak bisa itu, lu bisa ini, lu bisa itu. How to deal with that. So, ya gitu doang sih.
I see. Kalau di Hangzhou sendiri, Daud, mereka punya kayak debating community gitu nggak sih? Kalau misalnya kayak dulu kita di Surabaya kan ada nih komunitas grup Surabaya debater kayak gitu. Nah kalau di Hangzhou specifically ada nggak sih kayak gitu, Daud? Buat
Nah,
berbagi informasi tentang debat, tentang mungkin untuk menjalin silaturahmi dari satu debater ke debater lain.
nah, di sini tuh karena varsity debaternya itu emang nggak banyak ya. Mereka tuh mungkin
Oh,
nggak banyak tuh lebih ke arah kayak sebenarnya tuh school debatingnya tuh lebih kompetitif gitu loh. Kayak
oh, oke,
nah, tapi mereka tuh nggak kalau school competition kan mereka kayak very school based ya, so they do not really
mm,
mingle with each other gitu loh.
oke,
Tapi
oke,
universitinya jadinya karena mereka nggak terlalu banyak dan segala macam, jadi ya community-nya ya
ya
nasional
itu
aja
aja.
kayak everybody, jadi kayak
Ah,
nggak nih
I
misalnya kayak
see.
anak Hangzhou sama anak Hangzhou aja, anak Shanghai sama anak Shanghai aja enggak, kayak jadinya mereka lebih menyatu gitu karena kayak mereka tahu kayak
Hmm,
nggak ada kubu-kubuan, nggak ada kayak oh gue dari uni yang keren nih gitu loh, kayak oh uni gue menang terus
hmm,
kayak gitu-gitu loh. And like jadi kayak nggak mereka tuh punya satu grup spar gede yang kayak nanti
oh
debater-debaternya
nice.
dari semua uni tuh latihan bareng, mereka cari judge. Jadi kayak yang nggak mereka dan karena mereka debate clubnya emang juga nggak sedevelop itu. Jadi ya udah
Mm-mm.
they survive by sharing resources sama anak-anak dari uni lain kayak cari
Oh, I
judge.
see.
And they were very, very welcoming. Kayak, I felt very welcome by a lot of Chinese debater here. Kayak,
Mm-mm.
uh, very easy to hang out with them. And like, they were very, very nice, very kind. Jadi kayak, I think like the community is more united at some point because karena emang
Mm.
mereka kecil ya, gak segede itu. Jadi kayak
Hmm,
sharing resources was a thing here. Jadi kayak nggak ada kubu-kubuan per kota, per region gitu-gitu.
I see, I see. Nice, nice to know that. And also Daud, sekarang ini kan banyak yang terjadi ya di Indonesia. As someone that now living in Hangzhou, ada nggak sih isu spesifik yang lagi kamu soroti sekarang ini di Indonesia?
There are a lot ya. Mungkin kabur aja dulu. Bercanda. Kayak waktu kabur aja dulu aku kayak gue udah kabur duluan. Bercanda. Um, I think there are a lot ya karena kayak I cannot pinpoint
Mm,
one specific issue because like just be fair, there are so many things that currently happening in Indonesia. Yeah, I just feel like people power is getting regressed in some point. Like people starting to losing their voice and their power, and it's
mm,
sad.
agree.
Censorship is getting much higher than before,
Mm,
and also our justice systems need to work on the base of virality, which
mm.
is really, really bad. So I think those
Really
are
bad
the
and really sad.
really bad and really sad, especially in this current economy that's very unstable, but also we have so many social politic problem. I think yeah, those are the issues that uh, is actually very sad. But like I I do not get the impact personally. Like it
Mm,
does not. Just be fair that I had the privilege to not be impacted by it,
mm-mm.
but I still feel a lot because my family still live in Indonesia,
Yeah.
right? They are the one that getting impacted by it. My friends that I care about is
Mm,
getting impacted by that, and like they're still fighting for it. Yeah, I just feel, and also like our debating circuit starting to be very shaky because like kayak misalnya kayak sempat kayak ada isu-isu KDMI, NSDC jadi apa enggak gitu-gitu loh. Jadi kayak
mm,
community juga get impacted a lot by the change of administrations. Like,
mm.
yeah,
I see.
I just feel for it, but like I hope that people are keep pushing through and do not let yourself to be silenced in the way that's use what you have, your social media, keep posting and like hold the responsible person accountable. So yeah, I cannot really say much. Karena nggak mau so tau juga because I do not get the real experience of
Mm,
feeling that. It's like
mm,
have sympathy against all of to my friends and my family.
mm. Understood. And talking about what happened in Indonesia, also about debate, we are also talking about controversies. So, aku ingat ya waktu itu Daud kamu jadi CAP di salah satu debate klasik waktu itu dan aku waktu itu juga menyoroti bahwasanya ada motion yang menjadi perhatian banyak orang yang dibilang kalau motionnya tidak berkualitas, terus juga kurang balance, motion kayak gini kok masuk ke klasik gitu. At that time, sebagai orang yang menjadi core di dalam pembuatan mosi, gimana sih saat itu kamu menghadapi kontroversi itu gitu? Apakah you istilahnya langsung stand up dan did the clarifications, or instead you talk to your team, let's say another core educator, and then evaluate, or how you face that kind of controversy, Daud?
Uh, Back then it was Jofet, yeah, Jofet 2019.
Yeah,
There was a lot of thing happening on that tournament. It's not only about motion drama; it's a drama with the Orcom, the
yeah.
councils. We all know
Mm,
how chaotic and how stressful it was.
yeah,
So I had a lot of thing in my mind. And also that was the very first time I was being the CAP of Classic,
okay.
and I got elected immediately, like directly to be CA on my very first
Mm,
time being a cap of the Classic. So
classic. Mm,
it was indeed challenging because there are a lot of things that I need to discover, I need to navigate, especially I was still new in the way that that was my first time shaping classic. I need to learn a lot as well.
mm,
Um it was actually sad because like if I want to talk about justification and etc. People say differently. The cap also already think about it. So if people say that, oh, it's unbalanced, you cannot find the argument,
mm,
but I kept found an argument for it, right? So we did our motion testing, but people disagree with it, which I think is very, very fair.
Mm-mm.
Because like in making motion, it's not only about thinking argument that we can think about as CAP, but could
Mm-mm.
this argument accessible for people in general? Could they also think the same argument?
Mm.
But also there are always a room of improvement because
Okay.
I also believe that like back then I was still new, so like I might not be perfect in making motion and everything. So I take a lot of those criticisms because at back then like some CAP want to make a clarifications and blah blah blah. At that time I decided that I would not want to do it because we have a bigger fish in the plate and bigger problems, which is like the
Mm.
other problem that we
Yeah.
need to focus on. And I just feels like I take that criticism, and what makes me feel quite like felt quite sad is the way people communicate it.
Mm.
Some people approach me and texted me directly when they raised the concern,
Mm-mm.
and which I really really appreciate.
Appreciate. Mm.
But then when people blowing up in social media, I felt it very
Mm.
unnecessary. It makes me question the intention behind that. Is it really for constructive criticism? It's or why
Agree.
you have to communicate it in that way. So that's
Mm.
like it will blow things out of proportions because like pretty sure you all know who we are. You all have our
Mm.
contacts. You can talk to us personally. Why you need to blow it up like that? That's the things that makes me sad, but I
Mm.
recognize the criticism was fair.
Mm.
And people have a right because I also criticize others people's motions like so many times. So like
Mm.
I also sometimes say, "Oh, this motion is bad." So like
Mm.
I was I was there in the positions to criticize other people as well before.
Mm.
So I understand if people also have some urge and need to criticize other motions because like not everyone is perfect at making motion. So I understand the both side of the coin. Karena kayak kalau aku bilang mereka nggak boleh criticize, it was like naive ya. Karena aku juga suka
Yeah.
nge-criticize semua orang gitu loh. Cuma kayak the way for you to criticize it. If you wanna talk, maybe talk to your friends in small circle. Wanna share to social media, maybe close friends, second account, whatever it is. But in making big public issues, I think we have bigger problem than that. Except if the motion are offensive and
Mm.
commit some equity violation, maybe you can raise it to the public because there are some different degree of how you handle problem. I just felt like it was unnecessary, but I take the criticism. I think it was fair.
Oke, got it, got it. So, jadi waktu itu kamu lebih memilih untuk retain yourself ya, kayak okay, I take you took everything and everything was fair. Cuma lebih ke arah the way-nya ya, kayak gimana akhirnya saat itu orang-orang menyampaikan kritiknya. Dan memang ya banyak debater kita waktu itu yang lagi on di Twitter karena bigger problem ini tadi gitu. Jadi kayak akhirnya banyak hal juga yang keangkat saat itu dan ya gitulah. Cuma I understand the feeling ya. Jadi kadang kayak menurut kita mosinya ini oke, bisa didebatkan, tapi orang lain mikirnya kayak enggak nih, enggak seimbang gitu. Padahal kita juga bisa nih ya, harusnya bisa sih gitu. Also, sekarang kan ada yang namanya teknologi ya, Daud ya, yang berupa AI kayak gitu. Apakah menurutmu AI sekarang ini merupakan ancaman untuk komunitas, especially kayak debate yang mengedepankan critical thinking, atau sebenarnya si AI ini sebenarnya bisa dijadikan support nih somehow?
Oh, I think it depends on the users. I always
Mm,
believe that everything depends on the users. Because even without AI, people can also still cheating by Googling. Yeah. So like I think it depends on the person. Uh, Sadly, recently there are a lot of instances when people were cheating with AI, asking AI to make an argument.
mm,
Very recently, I think in Indonesia debating group, there was someone that used AI to do
uh-huh.
the judge test, which is like insane. Um, but I also felt like AI is quite helpful ya, karena kayak misalnya kayak aku di China kan juga ngajar public forum debate ya.
Ya,
Public forum debate is a heavy, heavy research debate. So it requires to have a bunch of
oke.
evidence. So it's an evidence based. It's heavy research, and AI helps me a lot in
Oke.
doing research, like because
Hmm.
like I cannot like find all of the information by myself. It will take forever. So AI helped me to find an evidence,
Hmm.
help me research. So I think it was quite helpful, and also for the non-public forum debater, I think it's also good for you to do mentoring and preparations before competitions, because there's something that just happened in global issue that just happened, and there's so many information and you do not know
Hmm.
where to start. And use AI to help you in mentoring before the
Agree.
competition. So I think you can use
Agree.
it in your own benefit, but just not use it during the tournament. like I think that's it.
Oke.
See.
Ya, also ya, karena mungkin pekerjaanku juga ada berhubungan dengan AI, mungkin orang-orang juga mungkin ada yang sadar dan ada yang nggak sadar. Kadang AI itu juga punya sisi halusinasinya gitu. Jadi nggak semua hal itu basically juga correct gitu. Kamu tetap butuh double check gitu.
Hmm.
Karena ya sisi halusinasinya nih bisa datang kapan aja. Even
Yeah.
kayak misalnya kamu pingin dibantu membuat mosi dengan menggunakan AI, mereka bisa sih bikinin pro dan kontranya gitu ya. Postnetnya tuh bisa aja. Cuma kamu harus lihat lagi nih, ini make sense gak nih yang dibikin
Iya,
dari
iya, iya.
AI-nya?
Ya,
Iya
karena
kan?
because even for research ya, misalnya kayak aku minta nih research nih, oh dicariin data-data kayak gini, gini, gini. Tapi kadang-kadang itu mereka tuh kayak bikin their own conclusion yang nggak exist di dalam research papernya gitu. Jadi kayak
Betul,
tetap aku harus double check, tapi at least I know where to
betul.
start gitu loh, daripada kayak
Iya,
bingung mulai dari
betul,
mana gitu. But it
betul.
still require you to have some amount of wisdom juga.
Benar, benar, agree sih. Jadi kayaknya balik lagi ya dari niatan awal sebenarnya tuh maunya apa gitu. Apa yang mau di-achieve nggak sih? Kayak kalau kamu debate, kamu pengen achieve-nya critical thinking, so use your mind, use your thinking gitu kan. Jangan use AI thinking gitu. Oke, Daud, nggak kerasa ya kita udah mau 1 jam, Daud. So for the last question, before I let you go to being a coach in Hangzhou, I want to know what's your plan moving forward. Apakah akan tetap di Hangzhou dan menjadi debate coach, atau kamu juga ada consider untuk berkarir di bidang yang lain, Daud?
Pengennya jadi idol ya, Mbak ya. Bercanda.
Oh, wow, iya ya, teman-teman ya.
Perlahan
Daud
kali
ini
ya
suaranya
jadi
bagus
idol ya.
banget. Bisa loh.
Perlahan kali jadi idol. Um, Recently I just renew my contract here, so like for the short term I think I still enjoy doing the job that I'm doing now, because like the teaching in particular has always been something that I really enjoy, karena before the bit coaching juga kayak aku sempat jadi asdos, sempat jadi tutor. Jadi
Hmm.
kayak ya I always love teaching aja in general, so kayak in short term maybe this will be something that I'm doing.
Mm,
I don't know where future holds, karena aku juga
idol
orangnya
itu
nggak
tadi.
terlalu muluk-muluk ya, kayak 5 tahun ke depan harus gini gini gini, udahlah kayak just
Hmm.
enjoy your life for now dulu ya. Kedepannya ya of course just make enough money so I can go back to Indonesia ya, because no matter what happened in Indonesia I still love Indonesia so much, and to be around my friends and my family. Yeah, just like my hope and future plan is not about doing specific thing. It's just
Hmm.
like just be
Going home.
happier. Just be happier. Like just doing things that makes me happy, and like and could live a life that free of anxiety. Maybe it's something that I want to achieve and become my priority.
Nice. I mean, sometimes people forget they just aim for something more materialistic, but I think being happier is like udah ngasih lihat kayak gimana dewasanya kamu sekarang sih, Daud. Karena dulu kita selalu mikir duit lah, inilah bersenang-senang segala macam. Tapi bersenang-senang belum tentu menjamin kebahagiaan juga gitu. Dan sekarang kita kan pingin ngejarnya like the real happiness kayak gitu. Oke, Daud, thank you so much atas waktunya udah ngobrol-ngobrol di sini. Good luck for your future endeavors dan juga semoga kamu mendapatkan kebahagiaan yang kamu cari. Oke,
Uh,
thank you and keep in touch ya, Daud. Bye-bye.